We are starting another visiting series, and I'm so excited to start up here in Brooklyn Park. This is one of my favorite small pondless waterfalls. We have 2 pumps and 2 starting points, but the thing I love about it is our clients gave us an opportunity to work with the driftwood they have collected over the years, and it makes it feel like it's this natural riverbed stream. The way the water comes through this driftwood, it makes it feel like it was something that you would walk up on when you're walking through a river, and I just love it. They've had those driftwood pieces for 25 years, and they wanted to do it something special. So I'm really happy to come back and see how well loved it is. You can see they've planted it. I love how this tree is grown, and just kind of, I like how it's got more branches and then the canopy happens up top because it's not blocking your view. And what I love about this is there's just this really calming sound that's really welcoming, and it just makes you want to come up and interact. They've got a beautiful patio where they bumped it out so they could put a couple chairs here, sit down and enjoy the waterfall, and it just has got so much intrigue and cool things going on. I love how we have the 2 starting points where the pumps converge, and then in the rapid section where it's going over the 2 to 4 inch gravel, that makes it look just spectacular. And of course, we found some really beautiful rocks here. I just am loving the way this is looking, and it's just grown in so well over time. So to our clients, thank you for having a well-loved feature. I just love what you've done with it, adding little of your statues and little knickknacks, but not so much that it's taking your jaw away from looking at this awesome water feature. It's very complimentary, and that's what I love coming back to these water features and seeing them after they've been loved for a little while, because you can just see that they've added enough to it to make it their own. They've planted it, they've done a really good job with it, and man, I just love how close this is to the house. If you have a space like this where it's kind of in your entryway, you can't get anything to grow, maybe you don't want to mow it, I think a water feature is one of the perfect things you can add to your home to really get you to have life, because this has got rich sounds, it's got a beautiful noise, and it's nice and tranquil. What a better way, there's no better way to introduce someone to your home than to say, hey, we're gonna have some nice time together, and it starts when you walk up on our sidewalk and you start enjoying that waterfall. I just love the way this is welcoming you to their property. Can you envision just sitting out here on a nice summer night, having a nice cold beverage on a couple chairs and just drifting away into that waterfall? And what I love too is at night we have underwater lights, and when the lights come on, you get a light show on the house, and so it's really got intrigue 24/7 and makes people really know that you've got something special here. Make sure to keep watching, because this is just stop 1. We're gonna have 8 different stops on this revisiting series, probably 3 episodes for you, and I can't wait to show you more, because everything we've built on our YouTube channel is gonna be featured today. So we'll be able to show you what it looked like when we first installed it and what it's looking like now. And thank you to our clients, because this looks fabulous. Second stop, and man, what a compliment to come back here and see how much they've added to enhance this waterfall. When we started this project, it was flat ground, and I cannot wait for you to see the side-by-side of what it looked like when we got here to what it looks like now. We installed this about 5 years ago, and our client has added just tons of enhancements. He just told us that he's been featured in multiple magazines for his green thumb, for attracting hummingbirds and all sorts of wildlife, and it's just so fun to come back to see something so well loved that they definitely makes it the center point of their yard. He just said it was one of the best investments he ever made, because he has really transformed this yard. He added an outdoor shed, which is now his office, added all of this greenery, and it is just lush and so full of plantings, and it's softening up the rocks. And I just love how these big rocks are standing out, but they're complemented so nicely with the plants, and it just looks like what we would think is its fullest potential. You've really done a great job bringing it to a full potential with the plantings, with their green thumb, and you can just see how much they love their yard and spend time out here. They've got chairs set up on the deck looking right at it. They've got a place to spend time in the office with a window so they can crack the window and get that beautiful sound. It's hard to believe that we're in Brooklyn Park right now because this feels like we're in an outdoor sanctuary. They've done just a really fun job of mixing in all these different plants where there's something going to be flowering throughout the year at different seasons. Right now there's all sorts of beautiful color, and when that dies off, there's going to be other things that transform and pop. So there's always going to be a reason to come back out here, always going to be a reason to want to see and look at this beautiful water feature, and it's running perfectly. I love the way that we got this huge boulder, nice big flat one, and we got the water kind of hugging it and bouncing off of it. You found some driftwood and incorporated it to really help soften it and feel natural. And then we got some really beautiful stones, one that looks like a giant marble that we made as a great frame. And just listen to the sound of that. It's like the perfect sound where it's not overbearing. We've got some calming areas. He even said that the ducks will come and hang out, which is kind of unheard of for a pondless waterfall, and the ducks will still be there. Since we've been here this morning, I've already seen about 10 different species of birds. A robin came and hopped up on that log and was checking out the water. And that's really what we love about our water features, is it's a beacon for wildlife. As soon as you plug in that water, it's gonna be throwing sound up into the air, and it just lets wildlife know that there's a clean source of water to come and enjoy. And I just love it because you can just hear all the different birds chirping, and you can just tell that there's a lot of life back here. And it's such a huge compliment to us to come back and see a well-loved water feature like this. He said they're getting ready to move in the next 8 years somewhere out west into a warmer climate, and he said, I'm gonna make sure I have a water feature there. So who knows, we could be building in California at some point for him, or we have tons of friends through the Certified Aquascape Contractor Network that we can definitely recommend that would take care of him as well. But I would love to work with someone who has this green thumb again, because it's such a compliment to come back and see all these plantings thriving, seeing how much they've added to the yard, and he's got plans to keep expanding and keep doing things year in and year out. So you're gonna wanna keep watching, because we're gonna come back here in another 3 years and show you what it looks like then. Man, I could just go on and on. I'm in love with it. I kinda wanna just hang out and enjoy it myself because it is perfect. It's amazing to think that when we got here, this was all a flat backyard, and we created this elevation change, and I think we did a great job of integrating it into the yard without feeling like a volcano, but feeling like it was always there. And you can just see how the way he's planted it helps tell that story, like this water feature was always there. Our style is to make it feel like a glacier came through your yard, melted, and left behind this awesome waterfall, because the glaciers were really good to us here in Minnesota. We have an abundance of cool rock, and just look at all these different beautiful rocks. What I love is we try and do large boulders because less is more, and your eye kind of travels across. And then we always try and mix up our color schemes too, so that your eye does want to travel and see some of the darker ones make the other ones pop. And we got blessed with a little bit of rain, and the rocks are nice and wet, so the color's even popping that much more. I just love it. Thank you so much for loving your water feature and putting this much work into it. It's a huge compliment to us and what we do for people. This is another living work of art, and it was done 1 yard at a time, and I just am so in love with it. Third stop here, which is going to be the last of this episode, so make sure to tune in next week. We're going to have a whole nother set for you to check out, and I'm just in love with it. We built this a few years ago with a nice superior stone, and I love the superior stone because it's pulling out purples and blues and some dark tones, and it really helps the color of the plantings pop against it. You can just see how well loved this garden is. They've got a perfect little fireplace to sit by. They got their grill right next to the pond. They got a gazebo and all sorts of seating. It's just a perfect perfect spot to come and relax. They've got beautiful, healthy koi. The water lilies are breaking the surface, some water plants in there. And the goal with this was when you're sitting in the gazebo, you're surrounded by water. And we did a great job of making sure there was a waterfall going towards the deck where the master bedroom is, and then wrapping around the gazebo so that you can really sit in and enjoy it. I love coming back and seeing some flowers popping. Seeing this juniper growing up over the rocks is one of my favorite things because it really helps soften that masculinity. You know, if you've been watching our episodes, you can see how when we're first done, it has a very masculine feel to it because it is so much rock and there's not much plantings in there yet. That's why we wanted to do these revisiting series and show you what they look like year in and year out after people have had a chance to love it and make it their own. I'm in love with the way it looks. They've got beautiful, healthy koi. The water's nice and clear. There's lilies are propping up through the surface. Hopefully they'll get some flowers throughout the summer. I love how there's natural moss growing. The driftwood looks great overhanging the water. It seems to me like it's a well-loved water feature. You can already just see based on the seating areas, based on how much they planted it and how much they love it. And it's just fantastic to be out here. It feels like a beautiful, relaxing setting. You don't feel like you're in White Bear Lake. You feel like you're at your own private refuge. And it feels to me like a place I would love to just sit and hang out by the fire, have a nice meal, some cold drinks, and just sit and relax. It's so fun to come back to these and see just how well loved they are, to see that our clients enjoy them. They want to come back and sit here, spend their time here, and really enhance it with their own plantings and making it their own. Again, you can see our clients have added a couple of decorations and really made it their own. I love the solar lights. Those put a cool shadow on the ground and help get you some lighting outside of the water. It also has underwater lights, and that's one of my favorite times to come out. But just looking around, I love seeing how these moss are growing on some of these rocks. We've got some of my favorite boulders here, that huge purple one that's the frame rock for the waterfall, and just the sound of it. It is just a perfect, soothing sound. I'm just really in love with the way this looks. So thank you so much for loving your water feature, putting the care into it, because it is clear that you love spending time out here. And that's a huge compliment to our work, to our team. And I just really am impressed. It's a perfect setting. Again, we always try and think of the big picture. Where do you like to spend your time? What are you hoping to get out of your water feature? And here you can see when we got here and started, they had already had this awesome fireplace, and you could tell that this was going to be a great spot to bring a pond. It's nice and close to the patio, so you can come and interact with it. The skimmer's in a great spot to get to and empty easily, and it's just running top notch. I love the way it looked. If you're liking this, make sure to hit our subscribe button. Tune in next week because we're going to have 3 more stops for you, and I'm excited to show how people love their water features. You see why I love my job? We really do create living works of art, 1 yard at a time. We are Pond King Water Gardens, where we create living works of art, 1 yard at a time.